Hey, let me ask you something. How many times have you found yourself chasing validation, over-explaining your worth, or feeling invisible despite all the effort you've put in? You've worked so hard, put in the hours, shown up, and given your best, yet somehow it feels like people either overlook you or take you for granted. You may feel like you're doing everything right, but the respect you deserve never seems to come. Sound familiar? Here's the truth that's hard to swallow but absolutely essential. You don't need to beg for respect. You were born with it. I know it might feel like the world is constantly asking you to shout louder, perform more, or hustle endlessly to get the recognition you deserve. But here's the thing. Respect isn't earned through noise. It's earned through a quiet kind of strength that demands to be noticed, not because you force it, but because it's undeniable. This is the game changer. You can command respect without saying a word. There's a subtle, almost invisible force that you can harness, one that doesn't rely on external approval or praise. It's the power of silent confidence, the kind of influence that doesn't need to be screamed from the rooftops. It's the ability to move through life with an unshakable presence, where people respect you not because you ask for it, but because you've already shown them your worth through how you show up, how you act, and how you carry yourself. As the Stoic philosopher Epictetus wisely said, "Wealth consists not in having great possessions, but in having few wants." The same can be said for respect. When you stop needing validation from others, you begin to draw respect naturally, because respect, like wealth, isn't something you need to chase. It's something that flows to you when you stop seeking it externally and begin cultivating it within. The problem is, too many people think respect is something that has to be earned through loud declarations or forceful actions. They believe they have to prove their worth with every step they take. But respect is earned in silence. It's earned by showing up consistently, by maintaining your boundaries, and by holding your ground without needing to justify or explain yourself. Here's the kicker. You don't have to fight for respect. You don't have to argue for it. You don't have to chase it. What you need to do is become the person who is inherently respected through your actions, your mindset, and your ability to move through the world with an unshakable sense of self. Think about it this way. The most powerful people in your life, the ones you admire, the ones who inspire respect without saying much, do they ask for it? No, they embody it. They let their actions do the talking. And the beauty is, when you do this, you create an undeniable presence that demands respect. This is exactly what I'm going to share with you today. I'm going to walk you through 7 silent actions that will help you become the person others can't ignore, not because you force it, but because your silent power is too strong to overlook. By the end of this, you'll stop waiting for validation and start attracting the respect you deserve. You'll stop chasing after attention, and instead, you'll begin to command it in the most subtle, powerful ways. Are you ready to stop begging for respect and start embodying it? To show up in your life with an unstoppable force that makes others see you for your true value? No explanations needed? Let's dive in. Number 1. Own your value with quiet confidence. One of the most profound shifts you can make in your life is understanding your worth and owning it without apology. When you truly grasp the depth of your own value, something incredible happens. You stop seeking validation. You stop trying to prove yourself to others because you no longer need their approval to feel worthy. Instead, your value radiates from within, becoming a silent force that others naturally pick up on. This is the power of quiet confidence. True confidence isn't loud, it isn't boastful, and it doesn't need constant validation. It's a still, steady presence that speaks volumes. Confidence is felt through your actions, your energy, and your ability to stand firm in your beliefs, regardless of external opinions. It's something others sense, not something you need to announce. Think about this. You don't have to convince anyone you're valuable. Your value is intrinsic, like gold that needs no glitter to prove its worth. Gold doesn't need to shout or demand attention. It simply is, and so are you. Your value is not defined by anyone else's recognition. You carry it with you, whether or not they see it. So, why do we often shrink ourselves for others? Why do we dim our light, hoping to fit in or gain approval? We've all been there, trying to meet someone else's expectations, seeking validation in the eyes of others, adjusting our behavior so we're liked, accepted, or respected. But here's the truth. You don't need to shrink for anyone. When you own your value, you become the embodiment of your worth. It's not about shouting your greatness or telling everyone how amazing you are. It's about standing tall in your own skin, trusting that you are enough exactly as you are. The next time someone underestimates you or doubts your abilities, don't react. Don't rush to defend yourself, explain your value, or over-explain your actions. Instead, do nothing. Simply hold your ground and trust your worth. There is power in quiet resistance, in knowing that you do not need to argue for your value. It is already present in who you are, in how you act, and in how you carry yourself. As the Stoic philosopher Marcus Aurelius wisely said, "The best revenge is to be unlike him who performed the injustice." When others underestimate or undervalue you, the best response is not to defend, but to simply be the person you know yourself to be. Let your actions speak louder than words. Let your calm confidence create a ripple of respect. You don't need to fight for your worth. You simply need to embody it. When you stay centered in your value, when you hold yourself in high regard, others will begin to mirror that respect back to you. You'll find that people start to treat you the way you treat yourself, with dignity, with reverence, and with recognition of your true worth. Now, I want you to take a moment and affirm this for yourself. You are worthy just as you are. Own that value and let it shine. Don't apologize for it, and don't shrink for anyone. You are gold. If you're ready to own your value without apology, drop a 100 in the comments below. Embrace your worth quietly and confidently. Number 2, be the person who shows up without drama. In today's world, drama often seems unavoidable. It's easy to get swept up in emotional outbursts, conflicts, and heightened reactions. However, being someone who avoids drama doesn't mean you're ignoring important issues. It means you've developed the discipline to respond with clarity, calmness, and strength. Drama is often driven by impulsive reactions, emotional overreactions, and the desire to be the center of attention. But mastering yourself means choosing peace over chaos, clarity over confusion, and integrity over sensationalism. The Stoic philosopher Seneca wrote, "He who angers you conquers you." This highlights the power of mastering your own emotions and not allowing external circumstances to dictate your responses. When you choose not to be reactive, you take back control of your life. Being the person who shows up without drama isn't about suppressing emotions. It's about mastering how you respond to them. Drama thrives on conflict, gossip, and the need for attention, but a truly wise person remains unbothered by such distractions. When you show up without drama, you project a sense of calm that allows you to focus on what truly matters: your values, your goals, and your peace of mind. You no longer feed into situations that drain your energy or waste your time with unnecessary conflict. Showing up without drama doesn't mean you don't care or aren't involved. It means you approach situations with clarity and responsibility. You prioritize solutions over arguments, understanding over judgment, and respect over friction. By doing so, you command respect from others, not because of how loudly you speak, but because of the quiet strength you embody. Think about it. When was the last time drama brought you clarity or progress? Probably not often. When you choose not to engage in drama, you create space for deeper connections, meaningful conversations, and personal growth. You become someone others trust because they know you'll respond thoughtfully rather than react impulsively. In practice, showing up without drama means resisting the urge to escalate conflicts. Whether it's at work, in relationships, or in everyday interactions, choosing calm and reason over heightened emotions will always serve you better. Avoiding unnecessary gossip and negativity. Focus on your own path and avoid getting involved in conversations that don't add value to your life. Staying grounded in your principles. No matter the circumstances, remain rooted in what you believe is right and let your actions reflect your values. Prioritizing solutions over blame. Instead of getting caught up in whose fault it is, focus on what can be done to move forward, remaining unshaken by others' reactions. When others engage in drama, don't feel the need to match their energy. Stand firm and let your calm demeanor speak volumes. Take a moment to reflect. Where have you allowed drama to take control in your life? Is it in your workplace, family relationships, or social circles? Identify one area where you've contributed to or been affected by drama and commit to approaching it differently. Focus on clarity, calmness, and self-mastery in those situations. Number 3, own your time like it's your most precious asset. Time is one of the few things in life that's truly non-renewable. Once it's gone, you can't get it back. Yet, in today's fast-paced world, many people treat time as if it's something endlessly abundant and disposable. They fill their calendars with distractions, obligations, and commitments that don't truly align with their goals, values, or purpose. The result? A sense of overwhelm, regret, and lost potential. But when you own your time like it's your most precious asset, you shift the way you think about how you allocate your hours. Every moment spent is an opportunity for growth, contribution, and achievement. The key is not just knowing the value of time intellectually, but internalizing it in your actions. The Stoic philosopher Seneca once said, "If you live in harmony with nature, you will never be poor. If you live according to opinions, you will never be rich." What he's referring to here is the idea that chasing after external validation, the opinions of others, and the endless pursuit of material wealth leads to a life of regret and dissatisfaction. Instead, those who master their time focus on what truly matters. When you treat your time as a finite resource, you become more intentional about how you spend it. You stop allowing distractions, obligations, and commitments that don't align with your purpose or values to steal your energy. Instead, you become mindful of how you use your time, ensuring that each hour serves your growth, goals, and priorities. Here are some practical ways to begin owning your time. Prioritize your goals and eliminate distractions. Ask yourself, what is truly important to me? Then structure your time around those priorities. Eliminate tasks, people, or activities that don't contribute to your growth. Set boundaries. Protect your time by saying no to things that don't align with your values or long-term goals. Whether it's social obligations, unproductive meetings, or commitments that drain your energy, setting boundaries helps you reclaim control. Practice mindfulness and presence. When you're fully present in the moment, you're more likely to use your time effectively. Multitasking and constant distractions reduce your productivity and diminish the quality of your work. Focus on high-impact activities. Identify the tasks that truly move the needle in your life, whether they're personal, professional, or creative. Spend more time on these activities and less time on things that offer minimal returns. Embrace the power of reflection. Regularly assess how you're spending your time. Ask yourself, is this bringing me closer to my goals? Reflecting on how you use your time allows you to adjust and optimize accordingly. When you own your time, You're essentially taking ownership of your life. Every moment becomes an investment in your future. The most successful and fulfilled individuals understand this deeply. They don't allow distractions to steal their time. Instead, they create space for what matters most, whether that's personal growth, meaningful relationships, or impactful work. Think about this. Are you spending your time reacting to the demands of others, or are you being proactive in shaping your life? Are you letting others control your schedule, or are you taking ownership of your time? By choosing to own your time, you begin to live with purpose and clarity. The less time you spend on things that don't matter, the more time you have for the things that do. And when you do this, you'll begin to notice how much more productive, focused, and fulfilled you become. If you're ready to reclaim your time and treat it as your most valuable asset, type "I own my time" below. Let's build lives of intentionality, purpose, and fulfillment, starting today. Number 4, move in silence. Let success be your noise. In a world driven by social media and the constant need for validation, there's a dangerous misconception that louder equals better and more attention equals more success. We often fall into the trap of constantly seeking external recognition, whether through likes, comments, or applause, believing that our worth is tied to how much we are seen and celebrated. However, this could not be further from the truth. Moving in silence and letting success speak for itself is a timeless principle rooted in Stoicism and echoed by many of history's greatest thinkers. When you operate quietly, you focus on the essential work, the effort, discipline, and sacrifice, without needing the constant reassurance of external validation. The power of moving in silence lies in the subtle but profound shift in how we approach achievement. It's about prioritizing results over recognition, progress over praise. The Stoic philosopher Seneca put it beautifully when he said, "If a man knows not which port he sails, no wind is favorable." What Seneca means here is that those who focus solely on external recognition often become lost, their efforts shaped more by others' opinions than their own intentions. The most successful individuals don't shout about their achievements or seek approval at every step. Instead, they focus on their goals, work diligently behind the scenes, and let their results, achievements, and transformations speak for themselves. Their success becomes undeniable because of what they've done, not what they've said. Here's why moving in silence is powerful. It protects your focus. When you're busy announcing your progress, there's a risk of distraction. Constantly sharing updates can dilute your efforts and shift your attention to external validation rather than the actual work. By moving quietly, you maintain full focus on what truly matters: your goals. Success doesn't need to be broadcasted. People will notice your achievements, but they often don't see the countless hours of effort, sacrifice, and struggle that went into making those achievements a reality. The quiet achiever doesn't need to flaunt their progress. Their results speak louder than words. It builds respect and admiration. Those who move in silence inspire genuine respect. When you avoid the need to constantly seek approval or recognition, people tend to respect your dedication, integrity, and self-discipline. They recognize the quiet confidence that comes from within. It fosters self-sufficiency. Moving in silence allows you to rely on your inner strength, knowing that your worth isn't tied to external validation. You build self-sufficiency and confidence from within, which is far more powerful than needing external approval. It creates lasting impact. The most enduring successes are often quiet and understated. Whether it's a person who quietly builds a business, writes a book, or achieves personal growth, their impact is felt long after the noise has died down. The Stoic philosopher Marcus Aurelius reminds us of this when he said, Waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be. Be one. His words reflect the importance of focusing on actions rather than words. By moving in silence, you embody the qualities of discipline, perseverance, and integrity, and let your actions speak for themselves. Next time you hit a milestone, achieve a goal, or make progress towards something important, resist the urge to broadcast it. Let your work, your results, and your quiet determination be the proof of your success. Let your success be the noise, not your words. If you're ready to move in silence and let your actions speak for themselves, type, "Let success be my noise," below. Let's embrace this mindset and build lives of quiet strength and undeniable impact. Number 5. Walk away when necessary. Your absence will be felt. There are times in life when the most powerful thing you can do is simply walk away. It might sound counterintuitive, especially in a world that often encourages us to stay engaged, fight for attention, or constantly prove our value. But sometimes the greatest act of strength is knowing when to detach and remove yourself from situations, people, or environments that no longer serve your well-being or growth. Stoic wisdom teaches us that detachment is a source of true power. It's about recognizing that you can control your actions, but you cannot always control the circumstances or people around you. By choosing to walk away, you take back control of your energy, your time, and your mental space. You don't need to explain yourself, apologize, or justify your actions. You simply recognize when something is draining you, and you choose to remove yourself with grace. As the Stoic philosopher Epictetus famously said, "It is not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." This quote is a reminder that you have the power to control your response to situations. When you feel that a conversation, relationship, or situation is no longer contributing to your growth or peace, your ability to walk away becomes a powerful act of self-respect. You don't need to tolerate negativity, toxicity, or anything that doesn't align with your values. When you remove yourself, you demonstrate that you respect your own worth, and you teach others to respect you as well. It's often in your absence that people realize your value. When you're no longer available to be taken for granted, people begin to see what they've lost. Your presence, your energy, and your contributions carry more weight when you are mindfully selective about where you invest them. By walking away from situations that don't serve you, you create a void that others will feel, an empty space that cannot be ignored. When you leave, you teach others how to treat you. You don't need to explain why you've decided to step away. The act of walking away is the statement itself. It says that you will no longer tolerate anything that doesn't honor you or align with your purpose. You no longer settle for less than you deserve. Practice detachment today. Identify something that is draining your energy, whether it's an ongoing conversation, a project that no longer excites you, or a relationship that isn't bringing value to your life, and choose to walk away. You'll be amazed at how your absence shifts the dynamic. You'll see how much people begin to notice your worth and respect your decisions. If you're ready to step away from what no longer serves you and embrace the power of detachment, type, "I'll walk away with grace," below. It's time to reclaim your energy and teach the world that your presence is a privilege, not a right. Number 6. Prioritize self-mastery over external validation. In today's world, the desire for external validation is stronger than ever. We're constantly surrounded by social media, where likes, comments, and approval from others define our sense of self-worth. Whether it's in relationships, at work, or through personal achievements, many of us find ourselves measuring our value based on how others perceive us. However, the truth is that no one else can give you the power to feel whole. Only you can. Self-mastery is the foundation of true strength and fulfillment. It's the ability to maintain control over your emotions, thoughts, reactions, and personal growth, regardless of external circumstances or opinions. When you prioritize self-mastery, you stop relying on external validation to define your sense of self-worth. Instead, you cultivate an internal compass that guides you, regardless of how others perceive you. The Stoic philosopher Epictetus captured this concept perfectly when he said, "No man is free who is not master of himself." This means that true freedom, the ability to live with peace and authenticity, comes from mastering your own thoughts, emotions, and reactions. When you seek validation from external sources, you give others control over your self-worth, leaving your confidence fragile and dependent on their approval. Here are some key reasons why prioritizing self-mastery over external validation is crucial. Your worth is not dependent on others' opinions. When you rely on external validation, your sense of self becomes unstable. People's opinions, approvals, or judgments are transient and often subjective. Seeking approval from others sets you up for disappointment when their approval doesn't come. By mastering yourself, you cultivate an internal foundation of self-worth that cannot be shaken by external circumstances. Self-mastery builds true confidence. Confidence that comes from within is lasting and unshakable. When you develop self-mastery, you become your own source of validation. You recognize your achievements, progress, and growth without needing constant reassurance from others. This quiet confidence is far more powerful than seeking validation from external sources. Your actions become your greatest source of validation. Rather than seeking validation through external rewards or recognition, self-mastery allows you to focus on your efforts, progress, and personal growth. You become the authority of your own life, making decisions aligned with your values and goals without needing constant affirmation from others. Mastery over your reactions leads to peace. Life is filled with challenges, obstacles, and unpredictable circumstances. When you prioritize self-mastery, you learn to respond to these situations with resilience, clarity, and control, rather than reacting emotionally or impulsively. This internal discipline brings peace and stability, as you are no longer influenced by external validation. True freedom comes from internal control. When you master yourself, you no longer seek to control external circumstances or the opinions of others. You understand that your value comes from within, not from external rewards or validations. This freedom allows you to focus on your purpose and mission with clarity and confidence. Take a moment to reflect on where you might be seeking external validation. Is it through social media likes and followers, seeking constant approval from others in relationships or at work, or perhaps relying on external achievements to prove your worth? The shift begins when you take responsibility for your self-worth. Ask yourself, where can I develop greater self-mastery? Commit to focusing on your growth, progress, and self-discipline, regardless of external validation. If you're ready to prioritize self-mastery over external validation, type "I am my own validation" below. Let's embrace the power of self-mastery and build a life rooted in confidence and authenticity. Number 7, practice silent generosity. Give without expectation. Generosity is often viewed as something that must be loudly celebrated, a grand gesture, a donation with a photo op, a favor with strings attached. But true generosity doesn't need fanfare. It is quiet, unassuming, and most importantly, given without any expectation of something in return. The real power of generosity lies in the act of giving without attachment to the outcome. When you give without expecting recognition, applause, or reciprocity, you send a powerful message to the world. You are abundant, and you are confident in your own worth. You don't need external validation to feel complete, because your generosity is an expression of who you are, not what you hope to gain. The Stoic philosopher Marcus Aurelius understood this well. He said, "The best way to avenge yourself is to not be like that." In the context of generosity, this quote serves as a reminder that the best response to self-centeredness or ingratitude from others is to simply continue being generous. You don't need to retaliate, demand appreciation, or insist on recognition. Instead, remain grounded in your principles and continue to give. By doing so, you show that your generosity doesn't depend on how others react. It's a reflection of your inner abundance. When you practice silent generosity, you demonstrate a profound sense of security in yourself. You give because you believe there is more than enough to go around. You don't give to receive, and you don't keep score. You give because it's in alignment with your values, and that's all the validation you need. Think about this today. Offer something without expecting anything in return. It could be as simple as helping a colleague without waiting for a thank you, giving someone your time without expecting recognition, or offering advice without needing credit for your wisdom. Don't keep track of who owes you or when you'll get your thank you. Just give, and give freely. Notice how your silent generosity shifts the way people perceive you. When you give without seeking recognition, you radiate a quiet strength and self-assurance that draws people in. Your actions will speak louder than any words ever could. People will notice the genuine kindness you offer, and that kind of generosity builds respect and admiration. It's the kind of respect that is earned through actions, not through demand or expectation. If you're ready to give without expecting anything in return, to offer from a place of abundance and self-assurance, type "I give from abundance" below. It's time to embrace the power of silent generosity and let your actions show the world the strength of your character. The truth is this: when you stop chasing respect and focus on becoming the person who naturally commands respect, everything shifts. By mastering these 7 silent actions, you will create relationships, opportunities, and a life that reflects your true worth. The world doesn't need louder voices. It needs more people who know their value, show up with integrity, and create positive change through their presence. Now, let's make this personal. Which of these silent actions resonates with you most? Drop a comment below and share one action you're committing to today. Don't just read. Take action and watch the transformation unfold. Let's build a movement of powerful, confident individuals who know their worth and demand respect, not through words, but through their silent, powerful actions. If you're ready to stop begging for respect and start commanding it, like this post and share it with someone who needs to hear this. Tag someone who's ready to level up in their life and relationships, and don't forget to comment "I'm ready" below to start implementing these actions today.